and the founding director of MPACS. Lowell and Jeanette have spent 4 months in Lithuania at LCC, and we look forward to hearing their reflections today. Then we'll have 3 alumni reflections. First will be a 2015 MPACS alumni, Harry K.C. Harry recently completed a PhD in global governance at the Vasily School of International Affairs. He's currently a postdoctoral fellow and contract teaching faculty at Wilfrid Laurier University. Harry's research interests include issues of international migration and gender and social justice, with a regional focus on South Asia. He'll be followed by Amanda Belfoy, a 2017 MPACS alumna. Amanda is a Knowledge and Action Manager at the Students' Commission of Canada, which is located in Toronto, and a highly collaborative community builder with over 10 years of experience working with youth. And the third alumni presenter will be Emily Singh, a 2018 MPACS alumni. Emily is an arbitration and professional standards coordinator at the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. Emily is a problem solver and dispute resolution specialist. So look forward to hearing from Harry, Amanda, and Emily. Grebel's president, Marcus Shantz, who's not an MPACS grad, but he did tell me he has a minor in PACS when he was a student at Waterloo, will introduce our Distinguished Alumni Service Award to Issa Ebombolo, a 2017 grad, and we'll have a more full introduction of Issa at that time. And our current chair and Associate Professor of Peace and Conflict Studies, Raina Neufeld, will end our program for us today. So thank you again. Thank you to all of our speakers. Enjoy the program, and have a great afternoon.
Well, I'm delighted to add my congratulations to the PACS program for accomplishing this milestone of 10 years of offering an effective Masters of Peace and Conflict Studies program. In the summer of 2010, when we first drafted a proposal suggesting that a Master of PACS degree be created, we noted that the global community is desperately seeking leadership for the complex problems that it's facing, and that Grebel's PACS program had the opportunity to serve as a birthing center for individuals working to change the world. In looking at the way MPACS could be a catalyst to nurture midwives for peace, we endorsed as a vision statement the inspiring words of Alan Atkinson, who said that civil society is humanity's conscience, its early warning system, its laboratory. It's where the world's thoughtful, committed citizens go about the business of changing things for the better. Civil society makes the transformation to sustainability possible because it's the place where humanity's best traits come forth most profoundly and most reliably. It's been remarkable, looking back at the last 10 years, to see the diversity of ways in which MPACS graduates have manifested humanity's conscience, its early warning system, its laboratory, working to advance peace in the workplace, local communities, nationally and globally, with governments, NGOs, and in business settings. We'll hear some of the stories of graduates who have been doing that in a few minutes here. We'll never know the impact that MPACS students and graduates have had, as the ripple effect is impossible to measure. But simply because it can't be measured doesn't mean that it's insignificant. The contributions towards peace of everyone add up. U.S. Senator Robert Kennedy, in a speech at the University of Cape Town in South Africa in 1966, at a time when apartheid didn't seem to ever end, he talked about the impact of thousands of acts of peace when he said, "Each time a person stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, they send forth a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, these ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance." The ripple of hope that MPACS is helping to generate can solve the world's most complex problems. It can bring peace and justice to our communities. Civil society alone may not be able to save the world, but without it, there is no hope for it. I wish MPACS students, alumni, and all the rest of you who are supporting of it all the best as you continue to live out the sacred mission and purpose of MPACS to bring hope and healing to the world. Blessings to you.
Okay, first of all, thank you for inviting me to the MPACS 10-year anniversary celebration, and I thank you for the opportunity to share my reflections today. I'm not sure where to begin from. Let me begin with what I had said when asked about my dream for the MPACS student profile sometime in 2014, because I joined MPACS in 2013. I recall I described my life as a series of shifting horizons. I quote my own words here: dreams are like horizons. They keep shifting. When you make a journey and reach the horizon, from that point you will see another horizon to reach towards. For me, my MPACS experience provided me with a vantage point from where I could see a new horizon. The horizon from where I could dream to pursue my PhD, the dream, despite all the constraints of my personal life, propelled me to join the PhD program in global governance at the Balsillie School of International Affairs after completing my MPACS. I completed my PhD last year and am working as a postdoc at Laurier and teaching as a part-time faculty. At the core of my dissertation and my broad research is the politics of international migration, which in the contemporary world we live in today is indispensable, but yet a cause of much social and political unrest. In my PhD, I looked at the issues of women migrant domestic workers from Nepal, working in the different countries in the Arabian Arab region. I am deeply grateful for my MPACS experience, which indeed planted the seeds of my interest in the politics of migration. Let me share two of those experiences here. First, I had the opportunity to do my internship with the Coalition for Refugee Support, which has now been renamed as COMPAS. And this was an opportunity for me to understand the issues of asylum seekers and refugees in Canada. And the second, under Dr. Neufeld's supervision, I conducted a peace research project. In my research, I explored the conflicts among parents and children among South Asian immigrants resulting from acculturation camps. For me, who was previously trained in the humanities, this was indeed my initiation into social science research. For where I stand today, for the completion of my PhD, for my research interest in the politics of international migration, my MPACS experience has played a big role. For all of this, I deeply owe to the faculty and the Grebel community. For someone like me, who was born and raised and educated in remote part in Nepal, this wouldn't have been possible without the opportunities and experiences I was fortunate to receive during my MPACS year, including the Dean Speak Award that I was honored with for my paper I wrote on disability issues in the context of South Asia. And this wouldn't have been possible without the inspiration and support of the faculty. I fondly recall here the classes and the courses I took with Dr. Nathan Funk, Dr. Rena Neufeld, and Dr. Lowell Ewart. I'm taken back to the time, and I'm deeply indebted to the entire Grebel family because at Conrad Grebel, I felt like home. Also, the Grebel's mission, seeking peace and justice through a pursuit of wisdom and nurturance of faith, deeply resonates with my own personal faith and a philosophy that emanates from the Hindu mantra of the Upanishad, Ashato ma satagamaya, Tamasho ma jyotirgamaya, Mritorma amritam gamaya, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. From ignorance lead me to truth. From darkness, lead me to light. From death, lead me to immortality. Peace, peace, peace. Wherever my next horizon will take me to, the Grebel community is close to my heart. The education and values that I receive here will continue to guide my thought and action. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. All right, so at the age of 25, one of the most meaningful spaces I'd ever been a part of that had shaped my identity as a young person, where I'd met many of my friends, fell apart due to a complex and multi-layered conflict. I watched long-standing friendships break apart along unspoken racial lines, and to this day, nearly 12 years later, we're still feeling the ripple effects. This experience, while mild in comparison to the experiences of those who have been through more destructive conflicts, was the beginning of my interest in peace and conflict studies. I wanted to know what makes people and communities hold together, what makes them break apart, what forces are at play, what surprising avenues can open up an unforeseen moment of grace, connection, or forgiveness. My hypothesis is that everyone comes to the MPACS program with underlying questions. Is peace possible? Can we make it happen? Can I be part of it? So I was a graduate student here in 2015, 2016. Shout out to my class. I see a few of you here. Growing up in Ottawa and living in Toronto most of my adult life, I absolutely loved my time in a smaller town/city. I'm not sure how you categorize yourselves. And particularly this college of the university, rooted in a community that has already deeply bought into the idea of peace. I decided to focus my energy on two topics: reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people, and youth perceptions of the support and systems around them when they've been affected by violence and their safety has been threatened. So I feel incredibly privileged to have been able to take a year out of my life to study these topics and interact with them in an experiential way. And the examples I was thinking of were my internship at Kairos, running blanket exercises, sitting in weekly peacemaking circles with Jennifer Ball, my research project interviewing former youth I had worked with, and sorting out actual conflicts that happened in our program while we were here. Some of the theories stuck with me and informed my work to this day, but I will say the experiences offered by the program gave life to them. But what does it mean to leave the safe haven of this program in a community that values peace to face the realities of cynical coworkers, systemic injustices, political maneuvering, indifference, the allure of materialism and consumerism, and just the pressures of everyday life? I can only imagine the variety of both welcoming and harsh environments that alumni of this program go on to when they are done. For myself, it was like leaving a well-tended garden to try and grow some flowers out of the cracks in a parking lot. Theories are not enough. It's whether the theories make sense in the life you live. It's about what this whole experience draws out of you. It's not about the letters after your name, although that's nice too. It's about whether you walked out as a changed person, whether you leave convinced peace can happen and I am part of it. I find it fascinating that a number of people in my program, including myself, went right back into the type of work they were doing before they paused to take the program. So for myself, I continued working with young people, and now I'm part of the Students' Commission of Canada, which is a national movement to amplify the voices of young people to decision makers, an organization I first worked with while writing my research as part of this program. And they still reference that research to this day, which I'm kind of proud of. So I wonder what new lenses and perspectives we are all bringing to the spaces we entered or re-entered after spending a year immersed in this culture. The work you are doing here as a program is building up ambassadors who can translate the head and heart knowledge about peace that they've gained here into the realities they are facing. The world needs more laborers in the field who can do the hard work of turning tough ground into the soft soil needed for peace to grow. The success of MPACS hinges on whether students have been transformed enough to transform the communities, systems, and spheres of influence they walk into after they leave this space. Taking a moment to reflect on my time here helped me to tap back into all the ways this moment in my life changed me, and how that change has rippled out into the places I inhabit now. So I end this reflection by asking you, is peace possible? Can we make it happen? Are you a part of it? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Emily Singh. I graduated from the MPACS program in 2019, and I'm currently working in the Arbitration and Professional Standards departments at TREB. When I got accepted to the MPACS program, I had no idea where I'd end up. I remember writing in a reflection for Lowell's class about wanting to become a lawyer, but that the winds that guided my ship to the future had changed course and began sailing to a new horizon. What exactly my vocation may be in the future, I was not certain, but I did know I wished to do something related to peace and conflict, and in the end, I was able to do that. Working in arbitration and conflict resolution, your day surrounds analyzing assigned readings or cases, writing 5 to 15-page papers, listening to others, and discussing and deconstructing a problem. Hey, doesn't that routine sound familiar? While I went through my classes, completed assigned readings, tried to keep up with everything, and pushed myself to participate in class, it never dawned on me, or rather, I was not cognizant of the true value of these activities and how applicable they would be outside of school. Now that I'm putting these skills to use outside of academia, I've come to fully appreciate everything we've done in this program. Yes, I now even appreciate the readings from Hegel and Heidegger. But skills aside, there are concepts that were introduced in this program that I still think about and that guide my practice. As a student, I thought that these concepts applied to only big world conflicts, and so it seems amusing that I can apply these profound ideas on such a micro scale to the disputes that I help resolve. As an arbitrator, I wondered how might my mandate empower me to exercise my position and how that power can be used as a sword and a shield. In the workplace, how do I exude the principles of a courageous follower? Or when trying to navigate parties through a charged lose-lose situation, how can I apply the principle of do no harm? Additionally, this program has provided me with the language of peace and conflict, and thereby the vocabulary needed to describe and seek a resolution. Knowing how to communicate a problem clearly and empathetically is half the battle. My MPACS degree is more than just a paper. It is my passport to opportunities. It tells employers that you have the ability to read difficult material, to synthesize and analyze arguments, and most importantly, to think critically and think compassionately. I want to express my gratitude to my professors and the MPACS community, because if the winds of the future change my course once again, this program has made it so that whatever port or destination I land on, I am guaranteed to succeed. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon. I'm Marcus Schantz. I'm president here at Grebel. It's true I was a minor in PACS. You couldn't get an MPACS degree when I was here, so I had to settle for the minor. I want to thank each of the alumni that we heard from, and to all of you as alumni who have come here and as supporters. You need to know that for us who work at the college, that encountering you and hearing from you is deeply inspiring to us to keep doing what we're doing, and we just will treasure this day. I think all of us will. I'm delighted to present the college's 2022 Distinguished Alumni Award, Service Award, to an inspiring leader and peace builder, Issa Ebombolo. Issa graduated from the MPACS program in 2017, and regrettably, he was not granted a visa to enter Canada, and so was prevented from joining us in person today, but I understand he is online and watching us. We're pleased also to welcome his daughter, Faraja, who's a student here at Grebel, who will receive the award on his behalf later. Issa's work is remarkable. One of his outstanding accomplishments is the founding of Peace Clubs, which has grown to 650 different clubs in 14 African countries in schools, communities, churches, refugee camps. teaching peace building and conflict transformation skills to adults, students, and entire communities. Issa's vocation in peace building began in Zambia in 2003 when he attended a short course in peace education, and supported by Mennonite Central Committee, he then obtained certification in peace building and conflict transformation and began working with the UN High Commission for Refugees in Zambia. Since then, he's worked with MCC to build peace through education and training programs, and by integrating peace-building principles into MCC programs and supporting MCC partners in doing so. In his current role as MCC's peace-building coordinator for Zambia and Malawi, he's collaborated with community organizations, individuals, and the governments of Zambia and Malawi to implement peace-building initiatives and programs, including working in the prison system of both countries to build a culture of peace and restorative justice practices among inmates and officers. And these efforts have included successful advocacy for reforms to prison legislation, which resulted in the government of Zambia implementing a new Corrections Act. Issa says he is, quote, proud to have helped both the governments of Zambia and Malawi to move away from a punitive system towards a correctional system. Grebel's Distinguished Alumni Service Award recognizes an alumnus who's made a significant contribution to church, community, nation, or world, and who represents the ideals and purposes and values of the college. Issa's vocation and courageous leadership in the field of peace building embodies the highest hopes of our PACS department and of the college itself. He's an inspiration to all of us, and his work has made a profound impact on the lives of many in Zambia and Malawi. Issa, it's my pleasure to congratulate you on receiving this award. Thank you for your leadership, your dedication, and your commitment to promoting peace and justice. And I'd like to invite Faraja up to receive the award.
It is an honor to receive this Distinguished Alumni Service Award for 2022 and add another color on the list of the broader Grebel Alumni Award. Today is one of the best important days of my life, and I'm delighted to share this special moment with all of you, and especially with my family, my wife Pamela, and my daughter Faraja. In 2014, an African, mature, and Congolese man who lives in Zambia left home, traveled halfway a world to Grebel University College here in Canada, away from his family, not knowing what life would be like during his Master in Peace and Conflict Studies programs, MPACS. But he believed in himself, and his family believed that this world-class university college would give him the best knowledge in the field of peace and conflict studies. He believed that bringing back that knowledge to his continent would benefit his people and the world. Today, March 4, 2023, that man, Issa Ebombolo, is speaking before you virtually. I would love to see your faces as I received the award. Unfortunately, I can't be in attendance in person due to reasons beyond my control. I would love to tell you that Grebel University College prepared me with much more than just the advancement of knowledge in my field of peace and conflict studies. Many things were instilled in me during my Master's in Peace and Conflict Studies MPACS here at Grebel. I gained progressive knowledge from the best professors, associate professors, such as Law, Rena, Nathan, Rod, and many more, as well as colleagues and peers. I got access to wonderful academic resources. I gained inspiration from success stories from alumni. I also learned to give, to share, to participate in group work and a project, and to shape my work to create an impact in people's lives. Grebel University College not only influenced my career, but it also taught me to take pleasure in a well-balanced life as a Mennonite Central Committee Peace Building Coordinator for Zambia and Malawi, as a father, as a husband, and as a Grebel alumnus. And I'm very proud of you all. I would love to express my sincere gratitude to my fieldwork supervisor, Associate Professor Nathan Funk. Finally, I would like to thank Marcus Grebel University College 8th President and Troy Osborne, Dean, Sheila Aga, Dean Faculty of Arts, University of Waterloo, Professor Emeritus, First Director of Masters of Peace and Conflict Studies, faculty, officers, the alumni committee members at Grebel, Master in Peace and Conflict Studies, MPACS, alumni, and the current student present in this event for being part of this accomplishment. You are the ones who have created and will create an impact in the world. Thank you all for your inspiration. Away from academic work, I remember my days at Grebel having experienced a mixture of excitement and of a sense of exploration. As a mature graduate student from Africa, I was fascinated by the events and the characters surrounding me. The memory that comes to mind often is that of community suppers, the jokes about the differences between Africa and the North American cultures, storytelling, and other social activities. I believe that my experience at Grebel equipped me to understand both of my worlds and prepare me for global job I hold now. I had come from the Zambian Open University in Zambia, in Africa, with a small population, one nationality, and a small number of faculty. Here at Grebel University College, I entered a new environment and became totally exposed to a much larger dynamic society. It was a time of change and transformation. In conclusion, it is a privilege to be listed as a recipient of the broader University of Waterloo Alumni Award. I don't take this for granted at all. I'm very grateful. I will continue representing the ideals and the purpose of Grebel University College. I thank you all.
Oh, how nice to see Issa's face, even if he is not here. Issa, I'll give you a wave. I hope you're watching. We're all smiling at you. We have somebody who wanted to be added to the program, one of the alumni who actually has come from the farthest distance, so I couldn't say no. Rose Ongech, I'm going to invite you up. You wanted to say a few words.
To the MPACS family, to the alumni, faculty, staff, I bring with you peace, love from Kenya. It is my honor and great opportunity to be here. I was here 15 years ago in person. I did my MPACS 2020, 2021, fully online, and I'm glad to be really back here. To the friends, to the donors, I am indebted. The Nallies, I know they're here. We've walked a journey. And everyone here. We have walked a very nice journey, and I'm super humbled to be present here. So I saw it of importance that I'll bring along a gift of honor to an elder of the MPACS program. So this is a special stool. It is called a kicholong in Karamoja cluster or Turkana community. So this is a seat that one only qualifies to sit on once you are 10 years old of age. So that is why I saw it of significance to MPACS program attaining 10 years of achievement. So ekicholong in the local, it's a local meaning in English, lean down. So my own interpretation came into lean into peace. So when I give the elder of the MPACS the word of wisdom that you already have, the words of courage, the words of motivation and peace, may you lean into them so that we all together move MPACS program higher and higher across the globe. Thank you very much. Please.
I am deeply honored to, and we'll keep this in the MPACS program, and we might have a new stool for our image. Maybe I'll put this over here. It is such a pleasure to be celebrating with you all today, and how lovely to reconnect with so many of you. It feels like a lot of you actually were just walking the halls not so long ago, and it feels like maybe even just yesterday, but then I looked at the slides and I noticed that while some of you have not aged, I clearly have. As I bring this formal program to a close, I just want to acknowledge and thank many of you who are here. And I'm actually going to have a long list of thanks and gratitude, and so I'm going to ask that you hold your applause till the end. First, a big thank you to all of the alumni who came in person today and who are with us online today. 42 alumni registered to come, which is terrific. And you all are the reason we are here. So this is actually a chance to acknowledge you, the work you do. There are such a rich array of ways in which you are advancing peace and significant change, as we heard from the stories today, and there are so many more stories in the group around us. We are proud of the work you do. We want to learn from the work you do. We want to find ways to bring your work into the classroom, to enrich the learning of those who are here now and who come behind you. We also want to support your work in any way that we can, and we look forward to continuing the journey of peace and conflict work together with you. We now have 147 graduates of the MPACS program. Pretty good. I think so. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I said to hold the applause. Sorry. I messed that up. Okay. Many of our alumni actually live in Ontario, and we are thrilled about that. We have alumni in other parts of Canada, in British Columbia, in Alberta, in Quebec. We have an alumni network that now spans from Belize to Singapore, from South Korea to Saudi Arabia, from Romania to Zambia, and from Pakistan to Switzerland. I was going to include Kenya in the list, Rose, but you're here. So I didn't know whether I should say that or not. My second thanks go to our donors. Your generosity has provided named scholarships that have supported 51 students and counting. So donor support and Grebel support together has been critical for the success of the program, and it has enabled so many of our graduates to study in and at MPACS. Today, we heard from those 4 alumni, and I hope that you have had a chance to meet and talk with some of our current students and other alumni who are here today. And we have this space till 5 p.m., so after the program's over, I'll continue to mingle and connect. Our alumni are working all over the world in very different kinds of work and at very different levels. MPACS alumni are providing leadership in local government, in refugee and immigration services, in humanitarian and response work, in education, human resources, anti-racism, equity, diversity, and inclusion work, in policy work, in peace building, conflict resolution, restorative justice, and other types of programs, and the list goes on. When I look at the collective breadth and impact of our alumni network, I too am inspired. I actually joined Grebel just before the first MPACS students arrived. And so I have been privileged to be part of the program's growth, but I wasn't here at its founding. And so I want to express a big thank you to those who did the very hard work of planning and seeding the MPACS program. Since that time, and many of you are here, I'm gonna look around and actually, why don't you wave the people who helped start the program? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That was hard work. And since then, a great team of faculty, staff, instructors, and administrators have supported MPACS. And this too is family. And actually, I'm going to ask them to also wave their hands. And as a family, we age, we change with time, we grow, we challenge one another, we nurture one another, and we continue to be learners ourselves. And that is part of the joy of being part of this family and on the journey. And I am grateful to all of you for the efforts that you have put in tending the garden. Finally, I want to add a tremendous thank you to the kitchen as well as to the organizing team for this event. We had 2 MPACS alumni who are on our committee, and so I'm going to ask you to stand as I say your name. So Sare Agamiri, please stand. And Rod Friesen, did you make it through the snow? Maybe Rod did not make it. Oh, no, okay, well, maybe you're online, Rod. We also had current MPACS student Rebaz Khurshid on our planning group. Thank you. Fred Martin, our Director of Advancement. Thank you, Fred. And then key to making everything happen today, everything look good and taste good, and name tags from start to finish, I want to thank Thomas Fraser and Susan Baker. And you can see they're anchoring the room, start to finish. Thank you so much. And now please also join me in thanking everyone else. As people have mentioned, and as we know in this room, the work of peace and justice is not easy. It requires grappling with these daunting problems: polarization, racism, oppression, marginalization, war, violence. It is work that takes humility, awareness, depth of insight, resilience, compassion, an ability to listen, and to imagine and support new possibilities. I have heard that in the room today. As we look ahead to the next decade of our peace and justice work, I am rejuvenated by the work and the words shared today. May our roots deepen and our trees bear fruit. Thank you, everybody, and enjoy. There's lots of food.
I didn't want to drive in.